Hello and welcome. This is Crystal Meach. This is part two of Initiations in Esoteric Knowledge. So we're building on part one. We're looking further into an initiation to esoteric knowledge. Think of an initiation like an onion. So you peel back a layer of consciousness in order to get to the next layer. So in summary, in part one, we looked at why everyone doesn't have this knowledge. And usually people have to be open to it. Language. So you have to be in a certain place in order to use language and for it to resonate with you. We went through an exercise of examining your own thoughts. And then we went through an example of an initiation called Women's Attitude Toward Perfectionism. We had a little bit of a discussion about that, and we were discussing external versus internal motivation. And we're going to build on that example. So, women's attitude toward perfectionism. So, when we were examining the thoughts that you wrote down, did you notice your state of mind? And think about those thoughts if you had them handy, and notice if you're within the flow of life. So there is giving and receiving versus wanting and getting. So, in that women's attitude toward perfectionism, we talk a little bit about how when a woman is caught, there's an emotional surrender. So, we're going to unpack all this. Notice a result: distance in relationships. And when there's distance in relationships, sometimes the blame is external to the self, and sometimes blame then goes internally to the self. Thus, one starts perfecting the self. And going back to those thoughts, notice comparisons being made. Were those comparisons internal or externally motivated? And compared to what? The ego set limit created in the past. Notice timing, past, present, and future. What were those thoughts manifesting? There's wanting and getting versus giving and receiving. If a woman is quote unquote caught, where is she? Stuck in the past, stuck in the ego, a structure that is created to hold certain thoughts and feelings set based on a relative experience in the past and in the mind. And this is the continual loop of never winning. So the ego is established, it implants a program in the mind, and then we see the effects manifested in our external world. For example, in the external relationship, a woman is disappointed. She's in protection mode. She's in defense of the ego established, the program established within the mind. Relationships can't be trusted. And when there isn't trust, what does that mean? Someone's trying to control. There's a lack in hostility, anger, bluntness. Another effect can be a breakdown of communication, an increase in distance, and then expectations. And what are expectations compared to? Compared to what? Expectations create A good example when a woman has this attitude toward perfectionism is that the other should have an expectation to provide. There should be an expectation. That's the number one cause of divorce is financial. An expectation for the partner to initiate, to listen, to have compassion, to fulfill emotional needs, to read your mind. And then those expectations become a bottomless pit. You can't win. You never hit the target. And from there, what is created? The shame. The shame starts to set in. You can't discuss topics of emotional significance. You can't expose a lack of intimacy. Working out isn't going to help your love life. Then there's the regret or the spin out of control. The relationship can only be seen where the partner is a breadwinner and or the children's father. There's bitterness and grudges. What happened to the man before change? But you also have to ask yourself, what happened to you that caused the results you are experiencing? That's what you're unraveling here. Are you ready for help? It's never too late. It starts with asking, and there's always patience because you're still unpacking the results that you manifested. What was your part in the results that you are experiencing? And if you made it here, you're already on the path. How is now different? So again, I'd go back to part one, looking at all your thoughts. What did you feel as part of what you were thinking? Because that's really what's driving that program in the endless loop. Solutions are coming. Thank you. And part three is on its way. Have a great day.